Why do so many of us lose ourselves in relationships without even realizing that it's happening? It's often not because of conflict, it's because of people pleasing. Yep, that's right. It looks loving, it looks like kindness, it looks like the best partner ever. But in reality, it's a protective mechanism that keeps us from knowing what our needs are and speaking them. It often comes from childhood where we may have felt that we had to people please in order to get love. We had to be the peacekeeper, the one who was loving, the one that said, yes, I'll take care of it because I want everyone else to be happy, because inside I can't handle other people feeling bad, because I'm sensitive, because I'm empathic. So I'm going to clear up the energy and completely abandon my own needs and just be there for everyone else. Yeah, there's so many ways that this can look and show up. It's very sneaky. Recently, I've been working with a couple, and they were in the best relationship ever. She was just so ecstatically happy with her partner because he was a people pleaser. He just did everything for her. He was just such a good partner and could handle all of her emotions, could handle all of her idiosyncrasies and quirks and, complications. And he was just right there, so present, so giving, such a yes. And then once they had a child, it was like, hold on a second, I don't have this much to give. And then they started going through all this conflict because he was realizing that he was overgiving. And now he had a child and he couldn't overgive to his partner anymore. And so now he is learning to actually tune into what his needs are and his actual yes and no. So I want to say that, first of all, relationships are a compromise. We're going to have to say yes sometimes when we actually feel a no. That's just part of being in a healthy relationship, is sometimes we do things to just be more focused on the relationship than focused on what we want to do. And so that's healthy. When it becomes unhealthy is when we abandon our true yes and no. We start going against our boundaries and we start being that one who shows up to clear the energy field and make everyone okay, and not speak our truth, not speak our boundaries. It's like when that throat chakra is just like a yes, I'm just going to keep on being a yes. And then what happens is there comes a point where we start to lose faith and trust in ourselves, because we have just abandoned ourselves so many times and just squashed our needs down, squashed our desires down so many times. And that is going to slowly wear away at the healthy relationship. And it's going to start make you feeling resentful and lose hope lose the joy, you lose the yum of the relationship, because really what you're living from is this place of fear that, oh, if I don't, say yes to my partner and say yes to everybody, someone's going to get mad at me. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to be unlovable. I'm not going to be loved and seen. And fear of abandonment, fear of disappointing people, fear of rejection. So we stop being fully honest and being in our truth. And we say yes when we actually mean no. We slowly disconnect from ourselves. And now we become this person that's just that people pleasing yes person. And at some point, this comes to a halt. There's a breaking point. There's a point where it's just like, I cannot keep abandoning myself anymore. And that person, the other one who was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was with this person who just was so perfect and amazing. And now they're like full of resentment and we're on the brink of breaking up. Yeah, this is what happens. And it feels like they've lost themselves. And people pleasing does not actually create intimacy. So it feels like intimacy, especially for the other person that was having this like constant person that was just like showing up for them, being a yes for all of their needs and all of their desires. It can feel like intimacy, but real intimacy is based on two people that are truly in connection with one another, and truly aware of where they are, what their yes and no is. This is why I always say, I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't know how to say no, who doesn't know how to speak their truth, who doesn't know how to get angry and say no. Because in my experience, in my own relationships, this sort of person is going to explode at some point. Well, the relationship is going to explode at some point. There's going to be a time when this no longer works, and this person is going to have to wake up to their own codependency. And that's not going to be fun for anyone. So, real intimacy starts with us being self aware, connected to our, being present with, how do I feel? What are my desires? What's my authentic yes and no? And how do I feel what my authentic yes and no is? It starts with being available for ourselves and true to ourselves and feeling ourselves and loving ourselves, not performing for someone else. And love never requires self-abandonment. No, self-love requires compromise. Absolutely. It requires us to sometimes do things that aren't in our full yes, because that keeps the relationship thriving, but not abandoning ourselves. It comes with making our boundaries bigger, more expansive, not breaking them. So our work is to stay connected to ourselves, our yes, our no, our needs, our desires, and stay connected with our partners, yes and no, and needs and desires. And then when we have two self-aware people that are true to themselves, then that's where intimacy comes. And then we can bring our full self there to the relationship And then that's where we can figure out what is the full yes that works for both of us, which includes some compromising, but no people pleasing and no boundary crossing. So it first and foremost, it's like we got to reclaim our magic. We got to reclaim that of we are worthy of I'm a no for that. I we are worthy of like I'm a magical, amazing, incredible, loving being because sometimes this also comes from feeling like I'm not loving. I'm not that kind. I'm selfish. So now I'm just going to, give. Yeah, we have to come back to our magic and feeling ourselves and being rooted in ourselves and being rooted in what is what am I feeling right now? Where am I in the picture right now? Where am I in the relationship right now? And then that brings along this incredible authenticity, this way of being that is just delightful and yes, compromising sometimes, but not people pleasing. No, people pleasing is not hot. There's also that thing of like when you are abandoning yourself and abandoning your own magic, it's not hot. It's not a turn on. So the relationship starts to disintegrate and starts to lose the fire, lose the yum. So be yourself, connect with yourself, self awareness, self presence, every moment, all day long. Keep coming back to ourselves. And that's where real intimacy begins and healthy connection.